Welcome back to the Black Family Business Show. I'm your host, Malcolm. If you're new here, thank you for joining. If you're not new here, thank you for joining. This show is about Black family business stuff. You get what I'm saying? Trials, tribulations, tips, tricks to help you along that journey of building your family business. I've been on this journey for the past 7 years, going on 8 years. I've seen a bunch of ups, downs, and everything in between. And what this show is about is to try to help you avoid a lot of the mistakes that we made and to kind of bypass all of those things on the way to that, on the way to that journey. And why I'm dealing with Black family business is because a lot of times within our communities, when we start businesses, it's usually the people closest to us who become our first employees, our first business partners. So I think that dynamic is really, really important. For example, our show's producer, my stepmom, she became that because she had a background with cameras and graphic design. You get what I'm saying? So she was just forced into that role. She didn't ask for it, but she had no choice. You get what I'm saying? And that might be you. You might have a background in digital marketing and your mom is trying to sell candles or something like that. And now you become her digital marketing department or shipping and handling department. You get what I'm saying? So I've always been fascinated by that dynamic. And I wanted to kind of speak to that a little bit more because there's a lot of people who want to start family businesses, who want to start a business with their family and create something amazing together. So that's why this show was born. So on today's episode, I wanted to talk about something that I feel I've just been kind of watching and just kind of been putting my own thoughts together around it. And that is scammers, grifters, fraudsters, and more particularly how good people, very well-intentioned people can become that. And not because they want to. And I'm going to explain why. So you need to follow me here, right? So just like I said, just follow me. Now, first thing, I'm not defending anybody who's been accused of anything. I have no idea about that. I'm not making excuses for anybody who's been accused of anything serious, and I'm not advocating for them in any way, right? This is for good people who have had the misfortunes of becoming scammers without them even realizing it. And again, follow me here, okay? Don't just cut off the video, just follow me. So real quick, I'm gonna take you back to the year 2015 when I had just graduated college and I had just come on board with my pops and with my stepmother because we were trying to launch my dad's second book. His first book came out in 2005. It's 10 years later, 2015. And when we were discussing ways on selling his book, we were still thinking in the year 2005, right? Thinking that there were bookstores around that could carry the book vendors that were out on 125th and things like that. And we were going to work like real guerrilla style to try to sell his book. We realized that was not the case. And we realized we had to go online and find different mediums online. That's one of the reasons why the podcast, UrbanX podcast, was born. Okay. So, and this YouTube channel in general, right? So, we were discussing things like that. We were discussing marketing ways and things, different marketing to get his book, to more people. And then he made a comment, made a joke and said, yo, that'd be crazy if Oprah was to hold my book up, right? And he said, we'd be screwed. Now, why would we be screwed? You thinking like, yo, that's more business, that's more books sold and stuff like that. So again, this is 2015. We self-published the book. We had boxes and boxes of books sitting in a storage. Okay, we didn't print on demand where you couldn't, so my book right now is through a print on demand company where if you order it, it is sent to you. I don't touch it. Okay, now my pops, if we would have known, we would have probably did the same thing back in 2015. But we had boxes and boxes of books that if somebody ordered, we'd have to print out the shipping label, pull the book, put it in an envelope, take it to the post office ourselves. Even if it was one cell, even if it was one copy, we'd have to do that ourselves, okay? So say if Oprah, who had the Oprah Book Club and a show like that, seeing about millions and millions of people said, hey, go buy this book, right? Just imagine a world like that. We'd have to fill all of those orders by hand, just us. It was just us three at that time, right? And what if we run out of books? What if somebody's order takes too long because they ordered on Monday and we're trying to, and we've been swamped with orders since that day, and it's Friday now, and they're waiting and they're upset and things like that. We're getting complaints, missing address. This is wrong. We got to do this. There is so many things that can happen when you get an influx of sales like that, right? That can happen anytime, but just think about that. Now, the buyer now, right? The online buyer now, we deal with Amazon and things like that. We are used to having our orders damn near as soon as we press submit, right? We want it on our doorstep, in our living room sometimes, soon as we order it. We want it instantly. But when you're dealing with small business, that's really not how it works. So sometimes you have to give a little bit of leeway. But imagine if you're swamped with orders. Could you handle all of that influx? And when that happens, sometimes orders get forgotten about. Sometimes shipping takes way too long, or sometimes you sell out, you're on back order, you're trying to get stuff ready and things like that. And all that does, the customer doesn't know anything about it. You know everything about it. The customer doesn't know. All that happens is now you are a scammer. You got their money, they don't have their product. And that's how it happens, okay? So my dad calls that the happening, right? The happening when, a video you do on your product goes viral and now people are knocking down your door because they want it, or an influencer wears your product and now people are flooding your site and you can't really fulfill the demand or something to that effect. Or say you make something by hand and that goes viral. Now 300 people want it. Are you able to handle that, right? People come to me all the time and say, Malcolm, I just launched my t-shirt brand. I just launched my book. I just launched this, and I'm not getting as many orders as I can. So I asked two questions, naturally. I asked, how are you, what are you doing to market, your product? Like, what are you doing? Are you just posting on Instagram or Facebook about it? Or, what are you actually doing for it? The second question I asked, right? That first question is important. We'll get to that on a different day. But the second question I ask is, would you be able to handle all of these customers that you want? Right? That's big, right? This past Black History Month, we run a sale every Black History Month, right? And usually, and it happens every year like clockwork, the sale is going on the entire month of February. And for some reason, that last 2 days of the month, we get bombarded with orders, 300, 400 orders sometimes, right? Last year, we got 300 orders in 2 days. Now, if we didn't have a system in place, if we didn't have anything in place, we'd be screwed. You get what I'm saying? And we, some designs that we have, we actually press the shirts ourselves. We pull the shirts, we pull the design, we press it ourselves. We do that ourselves. So if we didn't have a system in place, who knows what people would really feel about us? We get emails about wrong addresses all the time, billing mistakes. It's so much that goes on. And if you're not prepared for that, if you don't have a system in place for the happening, you, a very well-intentioned person trying to do business, trying to do right by your customers, can be called a scammer. So there's a few businesses, local businesses that we've ordered from. We saw a video on Instagram or something like that, like, yo, that looks dope. Ordered from, and we haven't gotten our order in a month, sometimes 2 months. Crazy. And we get no updates and things like that, and it's crazy. And we're just like, yo, y'all wasn't ready for the happening. You know what I'm saying? And that's literally how we can tell if a business is like ready or not. You get what I'm saying? People want all of these customers, they want all of this business, but they can't handle it, right? You're looking at other people online do all of this business and things like that, and you're like, damn, I wish I had that. You wouldn't be able to handle it. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be honest with yourself about it. I was watching an interview on JT the Pocket Watcher, right? So because there's a lot of platforms right now, because there's a lot of rampant scamming going on in the world, especially within the last like 3 or 4 years. There's a lot of different platforms who have made it their mission to expose a lot of the shadiness that is going on. And I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary because one, there are a lot of people who are trying to do, like I said, right by their customers and really good business. And there's people who are making it bad for, the good ones. So those channels who are exposing them and stuff like that, JT, Pocket Watcher, What Happened to Common Sense, Tony the Close, all of them are necessary, right? So, but on this particular episode, he had somebody on there who had been, he was a part of a group who had been accused of doing really bad business, right? Taking investors' money, not really, like just doing really bad business. Now, JT's audience, because they are used to just people who are, who are doing malicious stuff, they were really on him, really on him in the comment section, right? And I'm watching, and what he said, and I think a lot of people missed it. He goes, "Yo, my company, prior to me going on this venture, we were doing 0 to 3 million a year, right? That's what my business was built for. Once we got to 10 million, I did not have the systems in place to handle that influx of business, and then things got left by the wayside." That is something that happens all the time. You grow too fast, right? The same skills that got you to 100,000 is not the same skills that's going to get you to 1 million. It's not the same skills that's going to get you to 3 million, 10, 50, and things like that. Sometimes you have to bring other people in. Sometimes you have to create different systems to be able to handle that. And a lot of times, a lot of businesses are unable to handle it. So I just thought, and not defending anybody, I have no idea the intricacies of those situations of what happened with that brother. But I just think it's important to understand that a lot of times you can grow too fast. And if you're not ready for it, you have left yourself open to be called a scammer when that's not what you were trying to do. You just grew too fast. That video went viral. That ad went viral. An influencer held, shouted you out, and you weren't able to really handle the demand. You're not ready for the happening. Okay, but that's all for today. I just really wanted to talk about that because it's an interesting conversation that I don't feel like many people are having. A lot of small businesses, a lot of family businesses, you start out and you want to swing for the fences, but there is a building block. There is a system that you kind of have to follow to grow your skills, to grow your company's skills, and to grow your capacity. And you don't just start off doing $100,000 in a day in a month and stuff like that. You don't just start off that way. You have to build to that point. And without building to that point, you leave yourself open. Okay, so that is my word for today. Be ready for the happening. Build to that point, and you will not be called a scammer, right? So, real quick. So I'm not labeled a scammer, okay? I'm trying to separate myself from all of that stuff, right? This is what I did. I have a suite of courses, online courses, right? Dealing with podcasting, YouTubing, membership sites, printing, self-publishing your books, t-shirt printing, all that stuff that I'm offering you guys for completely free. All you have to do is hit the link below or visit blackfamilybiz.com/income. It is right there for you. Take it for free. All you need is an email and you're good to go, right? And I'm hoping that I build a lot of value and trust with you, right? The customer, the person who's watching or listening right now. So blackfamilybiz.com/income. Get those courses. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.